The Sony FE 100-400mm f4.5 to 5.6 GM OSS is a high-end telephoto zoom for Sony's crop sensor and full-frame mirrorless interchangeable lens cameras. Despite its large zoom range, the lens is reasonably compact while maintaining a high standard of fit and finish. The 100-400mm GM has impressed us with sharp images throughout the focal length range, even when shooting wide open. Dual linear motors and a direct drive SSM system ensure that the autofocus on this lens can keep up with fast-moving subjects. The highly effective image stabilization system can reduce shake by up to 5 stops, making it easier to keep shooting when light levels drop. Close focus is a short 3.2 feet, and the lens exhibits excellent bokeh. To help keep dirt and fingerprints to a minimum, the front element of the lens has a fluorine coating. And like all of Sony's G Master lenses, the 100-400mm is dust and moisture resistant. Overall, the Sony FE 100-400mm f4.5 to 5.6 GM OSS is an excellent option for photographers needing extra reach for sports, wildlife, and beyond. For more information on the Sony FE 100-400mm GM, visit dpreview.com.
In this video, we're hitting the road with photographer and Sony artisan Jean Fruth as she travels Route 66 to promote and document amateur baseball across the United States. We're joining Jean for the last 2 stops on the maiden voyage of grassroots baseball, Route 66.
Now, if you don't want to be a baseball player, we have photography positions open.
My name is Jean Fruth. I'm a photographer. Started off by doing portrait photography, partners with 2 women, all black and white film, did all our own printing, had my darkroom, started shooting my son's Little League games as a coach, submitted photos into the local newspaper and then started working for them, and then had the wonderful opportunity of meeting Michael Zagaris and being able to assist him with the San Francisco 49ers and Oakland A's. My way of shooting has evolved over time. I'm more patient now. I'd rather make one iconic picture than take 2,000 frames. And as I traveled shooting professional baseball around the world, I always took time to shoot the grassroots game. Everything from little kids in sandlots in Mexico to old guys playing stickball on the streets of New York City. Then when I worked for the Baseball Hall of Fame and I had the opportunity to be their traveling photographer, I got to meet Hall of Famers, and their stories of growing up were just quite fascinating. So I tied in my images of the amateur game, the grassroots game, to these stories with these legends. The first step was the book, Grassroots Baseball, Where Legends Begin. And I wanted to continue that journey. We decided to form Grassroots Baseball, and it always had to be a give-back program.
We did it!
Route 66 just seemed like the right place to start. 10 stops total that we're doing with Boys and Girls Club. And along the way, we've had Hall of Famers joining us or retired famous baseball players from the region.
There you go. So I'd like to introduce you to Billy Hatcher. Does everybody say hi, Mr. Hatcher?
Hi, Mr. Hatcher.
Hello, how are you girls doing? From this day forward, whatever you want to be, do your best in it, every day.
Each kid gets a new glove and a baseball, and for many kids, it's the first time they've ever had their own baseball glove.
Here you go, here's a glove, put your ball in there. No, you put your hand in it this way, and your ball here.
I also will do some portraits of the kids with their new gloves. The Boys and Girls Club here have a photography class that they just did, so one of the students from that class is going to assist me, help me set up the portraits.
But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're just gonna have the kids kind of sit here, and then the sun will be hitting their face, late afternoon, just pretty light. But Anisha was running the show, and you could see she wanted to be a photographer. She loved that I was a woman doing it. One alpha female at a time. We got it. Good job, Anisha. Our next stop is LA, and that's the final stop. It's the end of Route 66, all the way to the west.
Started our journey in Chicago, and we got snowed out at Jackie Robinson Field. Now here we are in Santa Monica, finishing our grassroots baseball journey.
Look at me, Jeff. We did it.
We are on our way now to do our final grassroots baseball Route 66 clinic with George Brett and the Boys and Girls Club and the LA Dodgers. Playing baseball is so important for so many reasons for kids. They're getting exercise, they're outside, they're learning to work with other kids. They learn how to fail. In baseball, it's a sport of failure. So it's character building. You're gonna have a stronger skill set going out into the world.
Your education is just as important as playing sports. So my advice to you is whatever you do, you be the very best you can and you try to improve every day. Every day. And have fun.
Perfect. Thank you.
Man, I'm gonna get that same gel that you use.
And I just feel so great about this journey, and it's only the beginning. So now that we're finishing our Route 66 tour, we're probably going to do something internationally. The possibilities are maybe Cuba, maybe the Dominican Republic. I feel really hopeful for the future of grassroots baseball.
The Sony FE 50mm f1.4 is a pro-level standard prime lens for Sony's full-frame mirrorless cameras. The lens can also be used on Sony's APS-C E-mount cameras with a crop factor of 1.5 times, which equates to a 75mm field of view. Optical construction comprises 12 elements arranged in 9 groups, including an extra low dispersion element to control chromatic aberration. An 11-blade circular aperture diaphragm offers smooth bokeh, even when stopped down. The high-end construction of the FE 50mm f1.4 is resistant to dust and moisture. A physical aperture ring around the lens barrel can be de-clicked, and the fast maximum aperture is perfect for capturing extremely shallow depth of field. This is true whether you're using this pro-level prime lens for video or for stills. For more information about the Sony FE 50mm f1.4 and all things photographic, head to dpreview.com.